Welcome back, everyone, to These Are Raf Times, the series of videos here on Rafchild Records video YouTube channel, where I, Raf, talk about the label and other things, heavy metal and stuff that comes into my mind. So, welcome back, and today I want to do a bit of a state of the Rafchild kind of video, where I talk about what happened this year and what's going to happen this year, like give a small look into the crystal ball about what's going to happen for the rest of the year, what kind of releases, because at this point I think I have announced everything officially that will happen this year, and maybe give some hints about next year, and talk about that kind of thing. So let's get to it. Cheers. All right, so as you are probably aware, I did officially start the label last year I registered the company in January 2019, and then nothing happened until the first release, which was the Lords of the Trident, Shadows from the Past European Edition release in July 2019. And then another 3 releases followed last year, with Nightmare, Space Knights, Wotan, The Song of the Nibelungs, and Burning Shadows Beneath the Ruins EP. So it was 4 releases in 2019, and we're already at that number now. Slightly over it if you count that cooperation with Crimson Dawn and Punishment 18 for their vinyl. And there's gonna be more, I guess, another couple of releases. So yeah, I guess overall I'll keep to the same release schedule as last year. If it's going to be like 8 releases in the end this year, it's like the double of last year, basically. So let's look into what happened this year so far. The first official release was Cardinal's Follies Defying the Righteous Way in March this year on CD and vinyl. And it is great doom metal, if you like your doom metal slightly raw, slightly punk, slightly black metalish, slightly traditional heavy metal. I really like the album. The couple of shows that I played in March around Hell Over Hammerburg, like before Hell Over Hammerburg, with The Gates of Slumber in Berlin and with Lord Vicar in Hamburg and Halle. They were great shows, and yeah, I wish there would be more shows. We had some timing issues because Corona was already starting at the time, so the CDs and vinyls were unfortunately late for the tour because of transportation issues. I still have a lot of them, and I hope that as soon as touring and shows are possible again, the guys can come and play some more shows, because they are an amazing live band, and live shows sell records, and it's unfortunate that this year it's so difficult to promote new releases live. And I think Cardinal's Folly is one of the bands that got hurt by this more than some other bands, because they're mostly and foremost, first and foremost, they are a live band that really slays live. So that was the first release. The second release this year was actually that cooperation with Crimson Dawn and Punishment 18 for the vinyl. Crimson Dawn is like a really cool epic doom metal band from Italy. My friend Dario, he also plays in Drakkar. We've been friends for a while. They played with Crimson Dawn last year here in Marburg together with Democracy. And they released a new album, Inverno. It's an amazing album. Unfortunately, it also got hit pretty hard by the whole Corona situation, because obviously it came out end of March, and at that time the whole pandemic situation especially in northern Italy was really brutal. So that got unfortunately hit really hard, and the Italian label Punishment 18 released the CD. They're a really cool label. Check them out. They do mostly thrash metal and traditional metal and a bit of doom metal in there. My friends from Running Death are also on that label, and they are really, Corrado is doing a great job. He has a large collection of really cool bands and a really good roster there. Check him out. Anyway, he didn't want to go all in for a vinyl pressing, so Dario asked me if I would be willing to cooperate, and we decided to do exactly that. So we did a cooperation. We pressed 300 copies of the vinyl, and I got 100, and the band got 100, and the label, Punishment 18, got 100 copies. And I still do have a lot of them, so if you want one, let me know, and I'll send you one. It'll be like, I don't know, 15 euros plus shipping, as always with my vinyls. Anyway, that's the sort of not official cooperation release. And after that, the next one was Eisenhower in June. Eisenhower, Blessed Be the Hunter, some very traditional heavy metal from, yes, we come back to that. So the guitar player for Eisenhower is Simon, and he is like the singer, he's a singer and guitar player for Running Death, who have played several times with Mega Colossus at this point, and that's how I know the guys. And yeah, he asked me if I wanted to do the Eisenhower album. I listened to it. I liked it a lot. It reminds a lot of people of Grand Magus, which I do understand. It has that kind of feel. And Vox, the singer, guitar player, main songwriter, has a similar voice. It's similar. It's a very bluesy voice. It also has a bit of Danzig in there. So if you like epic metal and want to hear something that's slightly different, I urge you to check out the band. They're another band that has been hit really hard by the lack of live shows, because they're also a band that is like, yeah, one of those bands where the music works really well live. It's not prog metal where you stand back and enjoy it, and analyze it while it's played. It's more the kind of music where you drink beer and bang your head and raise your fist and yell and stuff like that. And we all miss that, I know. So that's the second official release this year. And then we had two releases in the beginning of July. Both Wanderers, like Runemaster from Scotland with their album Wanderer, and Wanderer from Porto in Portugal with their album Awakening Force. Wanderer have been around for a long time, actually for around a decade at this point. Released one 7-inch single and a demo way back, and they were actually on my list for Riddle of Steel for a while, and somehow it never worked. And then last year I got an email from them asking about a label, and then, yeah, of course I said yes. So that's how Wanderer ended up with Rafchild Records, and the album is really cool. It's straight, old school, speed metal, very German sounding, although the guys are from Portugal. Reminds me of old, all this old German speed metal, Old Running Wild, that kind of thing, but with an epic touch. Some of the songs are pretty long. I enjoy it a lot, and I really hope we can get the guys to Germany next year for some shows. I'm sort of looking into how to actually do that, but obviously we all have to wait and see how things turn out with the whole pandemic situation for the next couple of months, I guess. So that was that. Runemaster from Edinburgh in Scotland play really heavy epic metal that reminds some people of bands like Visigoth. Reminds me a lot of Argus and Terminus very much. They released their album digitally in March, and a good friend messaged me and told me, check out this band, they're great. And I was actually on my plane to Up the Hammers Festival in Athens, which didn't happen. But yeah, that's when I actually listened to it for the first time and checked it out. And I was blown away by the music, and wrote the guys like, hey, why is there no physical album? And do you need a label? And then things worked out from there. So yeah, Wanderer by Runemaster, very heavy epic metal with a Norse topic in the lyrics, but it's more spiritual and less about battles and Vikings. I enjoy both of them. They're both available as CDs at the moment. There will be vinyls. I'll talk a bit about vinyls and the economics of vinyls later on, I think, when we come to the next couple of things. Okay, that's where we stand right now. We have 4 releases, 2 of them on vinyl and CD, 2 of them on CD only so far, and 1 cooperation on vinyl. So what's up next? Next are another 4 releases, maybe more, we'll see. And I'll try to get them in order. So the next date you should keep in mind is the 9th of October. That's where we'll have 2 more releases. One of them is already on pre-order. The other one will be on pre-order by the time this video goes up. And I'll talk about the first one first, and then about the second. That makes no sense what I just said, although it's true. It's a tautology. Okay, so we talk about Chardonna first. Chardonna is a very unique band from Sardinia. They actually sing some of their songs in the Sardinian native language, which is not the same thing as Italian, as far as I'm aware. And I don't even understand Italian to start with, but, you know. They started out as a folky thrash metal band and have changed their sound a lot over the last couple of, years, where they weren't releasing any albums. And the new album they're releasing is called Milianos, which I suspect means 1,000 years, but I am not sure. And it's a really unique mix of black metal, thrash metal, epic metal with some folky melodies in there. If you think Primordial, you're not completely wrong, but it's more aggressive and more straightforward, less tribal in the songwriting than newer Primordial, but Aaron, the singer's voice, goes in a similar direction. The pre-orders are on. There will be hopefully a lyric video real soon about it for the first song, Echoes, which you can get if you pre-order on Bandcamp right now. And this one will be out on the 9th of October on CD. Actually, the artwork and the CDs, everything, the files are already with the pressing plant. And if I'm extremely lucky, the CDs will arrive this week. If I'm not so lucky, they'll arrive next week when I'm in Belgium. And my flatmate will have to carry all those boxes up 3 flights of stairs. We'll see. So there's a good chance if you pre-order that you might actually get them earlier than the official release date. Just saying. And it's really good music and very unique. I mean, I do have this urge, I said it before, of getting bands that have something special, and sometimes that means that things are not selling that well, but I very much believe in it, and Chardonna is one of those very unique bands, and it's totally fine if you don't like it, but I urge you to check out the music because it's something special, I would say. Okay, that's Chardonna. The other one is, and I'm really, really proud about that, the next one, because I was actually sure that bigger labels or more experienced labels would pick up this band. No one did. So now they're with me. That band is Purification from Portland. And they play doom metal, and the new album Perfect Doctrine has been out digitally since the end of July. It has this amazingly obscure occult atmosphere, that mix of Reverend Bizarre and early Witchfinder General, that kind of really peculiar sound, and the whole imagery with the cadaver synod on the cover artwork and all of that stuff makes it a really unique kind of sound and album. And yeah, that will be out on CD on the 9th of October and shortly afterwards on tape, depending on when the tapes arrive. And yes, it's really, really, really good doom metal, very traditional doom metal. They're already, you can already check out the entire album. The pre-orders will be out later today, I hope, for the CDs, and hopefully for the tapes a bit later than that as well. And there will be vinyl, hopefully near the end of the year. I'll talk about the whole issue with vinyl at the end of the video, I guess. So that's what happens on the 9th of October. What else will happen in October, you ask? Well, maybe 1, maybe 2, maybe 3 releases. Yeah, I'm not sure about it. Like, the 1 is definite. The 1 will be Els Vox Necros on Halloween, the 31st of October. It's traditional heavy metal, it's from Portugal, and it's sung in Catalan, so I butcher all the titles and everything at this point. It's a band that has a lot of, like, very active musicians from the Portuguese heavy metal scene in there, more extreme metal scene mostly. Rick from Ravensire, the singer and bass player, is playing bass here, and his bandmate from Fili Nigrantium Infernalium, I'm definitely butchering that Latin. He is the singer from that band, from that black metal band, is singing in as Vox Necros as well. So you get traditional heavy metal with slightly blackened overtones. Reminds me a bit of Triumphant, if you remember that Austrian band from a couple of years back. It's traditional heavy metal with slightly blackened vocals, but it's not pure black metal vocals. It's more aggressive heavy metal vocals. So if you like Old Tank, some of, like, little bit of Venom is in there, certainly. I really, really enjoy it, and there's already, like, one song, the title song is already out. I linked to the video down below in the description. It will be out on the 31st of October on CD and on vinyl. The actual music and everything, I have everything. The artwork has been done by Chris Prince, the guy who does the amazing Mega Colossus artwork, and he's done something really cool here as well. I do have the artwork, and we'll send all the files to the company, to the pressing plant this week, hopefully, in the next couple of days. So CDs should be here, like, should be with us, no problem, and vinyl should also be on time, I suppose. And then we have that on the 31st of October. What else could be in October? There's 2 things that sort of are, where the dates are still sort of up in the air. One of them is the already announced split single by Ravensire and Silver Machine. So as you may know, Ravensire has recently announced that they will end their career as Ravensire, as Rick is leaving the band to concentrate on his other bands. There will be a new band, but I can't say much more on that. But, like, their last official release, their swan song, so to speak, will be a split single with my friend Silver Machine from France. Really good people, a really unique epic metal sound, also epic, slightly darker epic metal oftentimes. Both songs, I already have both songs. I have the artwork. We'll probably send it also off to the pressing plant this week or next week. So it could be, or it should arrive around the same time as Vox Necros. So we'll hopefully have that one at the end of October as well. It will be called Voyage, because both songs have the title Voyage in there. And the artwork has also been painted by Rick. It has not officially been revealed, but you'll probably see it really soon. Also, it has tentacles, and which is cool. So that's definitely going to be around the same time as Vox Necros release. And there's going to be one more that might be the same time or slightly later. It's another split release. It's an Australian split release called Graveyard Rites, and there's 2 bands on there, which I encourage you to check out their older stuff as well. There are Lucifer's Fall and Eldritch Rites. Lucifer's Fall, especially their last album, the second one, is really good. It's on 9 Records. Check it out. Check the label out. Not only because their boss is also called Raf, but he also does an amazing job. He released the last Cardinals Folly album, Deranged Pagan Sons. He released that last Lucifer's Fall album, which is also really good. Just check out his label in general. He has a lot of good stuff there. And the other band, Lucifer's Fall, they sound a little bit like, you know, the more Scandinavian, rougher doom side, a bit of Reverend Bizarre in there, that kind of feel, and it's really good. The other one will be Eldritch Rites from Melbourne, and they have a way rougher delivery. Imagine old Lamp of Thoth, Arkham Witch, that kind of sound, very rough. And I like both. I have already heard all the songs. I have all the material. We basically just need to finish like the layouts and send it off. And then we have that. It will be 3 songs from each band. So it will be a split 12-inch on vinyl. And there will also be a CD edition of it. But we haven't fixed like an official release date for that one yet. It will be around the same time though. So what will be the final release for this year? It was just announced last week. We announced it last week, and I'm really, really proud of it. It's Cramp from Spain, from Madrid, and they play traditional heavy metal. The album is called Gods of Death, and it will be out on the 24th of November on CD, vinyl, and tape. And it's very traditional heavy metal. Reminds me a lot of Old Omen, Old Warlord, and Lordian Guard. It also has this fire, the energy of like more like younger Mediterranean epic metal bands, you know, like Battle Roar, that kind of feel is there. Like if you like older Battle Roar, then you will definitely find that kind of feel, that kind of energy, that in there as well. And there's 2 singles out already. Both are really good. Speed of Light and Gods of Death, the title track, and I'll link to both videos below. Check it out. It's really good traditional heavy metal. And it actually is sort of a homecoming because Mina, the singer, she made the lyrics video for the first Wotan single for In the Land of the Nibelungs. And she actually also did the artwork, not the artwork, but the layout for the vinyl edition of the Wotan album, this triple gatefold vinyl. She did the layout for that as well. So I've known her for a while. We've talked before, and this new album is a huge step forward for them compared to their older material. At least I feel so. And I'm very glad that we can actually work together again, and this time with their music. And it's going to be out on 24th of November. So that's what I think will be everything for this year. Now, obviously, as I am a master of not saying no and a master of not planning ahead, there might be surprises. I hope not, because this is already a lot. But we'll see. There's a little bit I can sort of reveal for the next year, for 2021 already. I'll try to look into that. Then in the end, I'll talk a bit about the realities, the financial realities of the whole enterprise and what else I can do about that. So yeah, already announced a album that will be a cooperation with my good friend Martin from Journey's End Records. Check his label out. He does really good vinyls. He has some old Death the Leveler vinyls that I know he would really like to sell more of, their EP, and I can highly recommend that. And the band that we're talking about is Mountain Throne, also good friends of ours, and we are splitting it. I'll do the CD, he does the vinyl. The album will be called The Silver Light, and it's going to be out sometime in winter. There is a really small chance that it will be out in December, but personally, I believe it will probably be January or February or something like that, because right now, with the realities of vinyl production, which is around 2 months of turnover time between submitting all the files, all the data, and getting the stuff actually pressed and delivered, this is probably too short a time, because it would basically mean that in the next 4 weeks we would need everything for the vinyl release. CD obviously is faster, but we want to do like both day releases at the same time to coordinate better. So we don't know exactly when it will be, but it's something that has also been a long time in the making. Actually, since last year, maybe September, October. I have to check when Andy first sent me an email, and then we met at Hammer of Doom on Saturday morning for a very drunken business lunch. Not very drunken, but very hungover mostly, although I drank some beer there as well. And we talked about all kinds of things: archaeology, culture, music, the world, and why it is doomed. And after that, we decided that it's a really good idea to work together because, you know, I've known the guys for a long time. They played at Riddle of Steel, the first Riddle of Steel. I just saw them at other shows. They're good guys, and it just feels right to do this together. And I'm having high hopes for the Silver Light. It's going to be really cool. And I guess we can reveal the cover artwork relatively soon. So that's going to be in winter at some point. Then there's going to be 2 more things that I cannot fully officially announce, but people who know me can probably already guess. If you have guesses, write them down in the comments. Like always, you can write all kinds of things in the comments, and like the video and subscribe to the channel if you want to get more of this rambling stuff or anything else. So yeah, what else? It will remain doomy. There is one re-release coming of a band that I've already worked with, and one of their older albums is out of print and has never been released on vinyl, and we're going to do that next year in spring. We'll do a vinyl re-release of an album that is out of print at the moment, and I'm really looking forward to it because I still don't own that album, so I'm gonna be my first customer to get one of those, because I, for some reason, managed to not buy the CD when it was out a couple of years ago. So yeah, that's one of the releases that's going to come. The other one's going to be a new album, the 3rd album of a German doom band that I'm good friends with, like really cool people. We're going to announce it really soon officially that we're working together, but there's no fixed release date. The album is not yet recorded, but once it is recorded, it will be very epic, very doomy, and very North Germany. So stay tuned for that. And that's like all the plans I have right now for 2021. I'm sure there's going to be more, but I also have to, you know, think about the future in more realistic terms. And that's like the 3rd part of this video that I'm going to get to now. So yeah, you're probably already saying, but Raf, what about those Wanderer and Runemaster vinyls you promised? Where are they? And the answer is, they're expensive. I cannot pay for them right now. You have to understand that this label is not something I can live off at the moment, obviously. I guess overall I'm close to breaking even at the moment, but not yet. Some of the stuff I made early on, it's probably going to be like a topic for another video at some point. I definitely made some mistakes when I started the label, both in promotion and in price setting and other things that we need to talk about at some point. So yeah, I'm not exactly getting rich off this. The other reality is, and I'm going to drop some numbers here, vinyl is expensive. I usually do a 300 copy pressing of vinyl, 180 gram black vinyl. I'll print the inserts, like the lyric sheet and stuff like that. I'll print somewhere else because it's cheaper than printing it with the pressing plant. And such a pressing of 300 costs me roughly 1,500 euros. It's a bit below that. Most of the time, it sort of depends on the exchange rate because I'm pressing them in Poland. And yeah, they have Swati there and we have euros. So there's like the exchange rate. Sometimes it's cheaper, sometimes it's more expensive. And that's a lot of money. The other thing is, when I press CDs in Germany, the usual method is I have to pay the invoice 2 weeks after receiving the actual product. So I have more time to break even to actually gather the money for a pressing. So a CD pressing is cheaper, and I have more time to actually gather that money because I don't want to start a pre-order for a vinyl that I have not yet even submitted to the pressing plant. It kind of feels wrong, and I'm worried that If some fuck up happens in between, I already have money, and then the pressing is delayed and delayed and delayed, and people will complain and so forth. I don't want to do that. I kind of did that, although not really, with the Wotan album last year, and we had long delays, much longer than expected, for all kinds of reasons, and I don't want to do that. So usually I want to start the pre-order for vinyl at the moment where I send everything to the pressing plant. But as I said, in Germany with CDs, I have to pay after I receive the goods. With the vinyl, I have to pay in advance. They start pressing the vinyl once they receive my money. So I have to have 1,500 euros basically free cash available to send to them, and then get the pressing and hope that I'll sell enough vinyls to make that money back. Now I price vinyl at 15 euros, so if I sell 1/3 of a pressing, I would break even. That sounds easy, that sounds like very little, but selling 100 copies of vinyl, especially nowadays with the whole lack of shows in the pandemic, is more difficult than you might imagine. So yeah, that kind of is the limit for doing vinyls right now. It's I have to gather the money, then I can greenlight the next vinyl pressing, and that's what will happen with Wanderer and Runemaster, especially since Runemaster will be a double vinyl, because the album has almost 60 minutes, and you can put around 20 minutes, between 20 and 25 minutes on one vinyl side. That's exactly 3 sides, so we need a double vinyl, and we need something for the 4th side. We have ideas. We were thinking and talking about putting their last demo, the By Thorn and Thunder demo, on the last side because it would fit perfectly, and that will have to happen as well. But yeah, that's a lot of money that I have to put up front, and that I don't always have, because right now, until last month, I used to live off a scholarship for my a PhD scholarship, which is now run out. I have not yet submitted my thesis. I hope I will do that within the next 12 months. That's basically what will be the main focus for the next 12 months. It will be a very tough and interesting time. I have money saved from all kinds of, from before. I can live off that money for about a year. I could probably live longer off it if the label would start making money, but right now I can live off that for around a year and keep the label going. So the idea is to finish the thesis within those 12 months and keep the label going, and then with next year, around this time, take stock and see what the situation is. If I will find a job with a PhD in philosophy, chances for that are not really that good, as you can imagine. Also, with the current pandemic situation, who really knows what will happen in the next 12 months? I don't. So I have to be a bit careful with those savings and cannot just, go all out and buy all the vinyl pressings at once and just blow out 10,000 euros to get the shit done. That's not how it will work, so I have to be careful. The other thing is, how can I make the label more profitable? There's one big thing that I'm working on, and I hope I'll get it done really soon, because it will help a lot. That's having a actual separate web store. I don't have that right now. Right now I sell in person through private messages on Facebook or whatever online forums or wherever you find me, and from Bandcamp. Now that's fine, and it works really well for bands where I am the only person, where I'm the label. It is not so easy for bands where I'm not the label. For example, with the Crimson Dawn album, it's more complicated because they have they sell it also on Bandcamp, and it would be a bit of a hassle. It's possible, it's a bit of a hassle. So the idea is to have an external web store where I can also sell other people's stuff, because I've started to trade releases with other labels. I have some stuff from Thomas from Rafchild Records here. I do still have a little bit of stuff from Raphael from 9 records, and I will have more stuff from other labels in the near future. I hope I'll get some stuff from Cruz del Sur and Punishment 18 and Dying Victims productions. And selling those, I will need a web store. The idea is that people can not only buy my stuff, but also other stuff they really wanted. I mean, I'll not start stocking tons of black metal, obviously. I'll stock things that I think people that like my releases will also like. So you only have to shop from one person and not from 3 different shops to get your shopping done. It's the same thing for the other labels. They get my stuff, so people who buy their stuff can also pick up my stuff. It's something that happens a lot, and I'm working on that, but I need to finish the web store. I've reserved one on Big Cartel. I just need a template fixed and all the visuals, and that's like where I need help from someone else. I need to have someone look over my shoulder, like, and do all the graphic works for that, because I cannot do that. Stupid, I know, but that's sort of what's holding me up there right now. I need that part done, and then I can sell more stuff, hopefully. And yeah, we'll see what else I can, rustle up to make more money, to make the vinyl releases faster and all the other stuff goes smoother, and we'll see how that all works. If you have great suggestions, contact me. I'm always willing to listen. Now, when the pandemic is over, I'll probably also go back to booking shows and helping bands book tours and organizing tours, and I can probably ask a little money for that as well. But with the current pandemic situation, this is still difficult. We'll see. All these things are in the future, but as I said, I have budget, I have enough money laid back for saved up for the next year, give or take a bit. And then we'll see. I'll keep you all informed on that, obviously, but yeah, that's basically where the label is standing right now. And where I hope the label will stand next year is a point where where the label is breaking even within reasonable times, so I can look after myself, my living, like, with other things, and the label is just running on the side and not taking money from wherever I'll get it at that point. I mean, if I make some money off it, I'll be very, very happy, but I cannot rely on that. So that's where we stand right now. And yeah, if you have questions, ask them. If you have bands that you feel belong to Rafchild Records, send them my way. No, don't. I'm really bad at saying no, so I'll probably sign them, and then I have way too many bands to deal with. We'll see. Like, write in the comments, share the video, subscribe to the channel. It would help me a lot, and I'll talk to you real soon. Cheers.